Hello everyone, my name is Kasaya. I'm a tarot reader and a channeler. I have messages today. Not sure what they're going to be yet, but if you have found yourself here, these might be for you. However, if it does not fit, do not force it. Take only what resonates and leave the rest. Okay. All right. I'm just going to talk and then see where I go from there. I feel as though whoever resonates with this collective will have recently gone through a very big release of some sort, a big emotional release. Something that was very cathartic for you, okay? A lot of tears being shed. And maybe this was with the self, maybe this was with others, maybe this was in nature, okay? In whatever way this was, there was a lot of energetic, what's the word I'm looking for? Exudate. It was like, it's like there's something that was seeped out of you. And it was like, not only a release in that seeping out of you, in the secretion of some sort of old, there was also like a production of something within that release. If that makes sense. I'm not sure what word to put there. But this is the way that I found to verbalize, the language to put to this is exudate. It's like some sort of energetic release with production. Okay, so either you released and it produced something, or you produced something which created the release. In whatever way that is. I'm not sure what the production will be as well. Whether that is a production in the tangible, in the physical, or if it was production of a new mental process or processes, or if it was an emotional production where you created something of emotion and that created the release, or vice versa, right? Take it as it resonates, okay? It's either that the production created the release or the release created the production. Either way, there was release that was present and something produced, okay? In tandem, like a entwined beginning and ending kind of thing. Very beautiful energy. And I do want to hop into the cards now, I guess. I also forgot to show you, this was supposed to be in my last video. I gotta be very delicate with it. That was supposed to be in my last video and I forgot to put it in there. This is a hawk moth wing that I found. A beautifully, there's the back. You can see a little bit of pink there. I believe it's spurge hawk moth, pretty sure, that I found beautifully preserved on the ground while I was walking at one of my favorite trails. And it symbolizes freedom. It symbolizes someone growing their wings or growing into their wings. It symbolizes liberation, okay? It symbolizes, did I write down anything about the hawk moth? Oh, I shared it in the last video, but I like completely spaced why the hawk moth was in the messages, and it's because of the hawk moth wing. Yeah, I don't know where I put the sticky note, but yeah, they're about transformation. They're about the balance. They're about the cycles of life, okay? And there was as I said, an entwined ending and beginning that has taken place. All right, there's liberation from something. You have grown your wings, and when you grow your wings, that is, you go from the caterpillar and then you go into the cocoon phase and you come out with your wings. So you're either coming out of the cocoon right now, or you have taken flight, one or the other. And that is coming out of the cocoon is coming out of the hermit mode, of the phase of, and I feel like it's like we're butterflies, but we shed wings and grow new pairs. I feel like this can happen a few times in a person's life, but that's not going to be like a frequent happening, right? It's like you become a bigger butterfly. So whichever phase of your life this is, you know, I feel that can be, okay, that's interesting. I feel like it can be multiple different, like growing new pairs of wings, but you come out, sorry. I was eating sunflower seeds. and they're like stuck in my teeth. Like you grow new pairs of wings, but there's only one time that you really liberate yourself from the cocoon. Okay, and by the cocoon, I mean, yes, that hermit mode, but also the protective layer in which we go through our biggest transformation. We go through plenty of transformations and plenty of awakenings, typically. If you're on a spiritual path, you go through plenty of awakenings and reawakenings on your path. Different moments of enlightenment. And this protective layer is what you have freed yourself from. And protective layer doesn't just mean hermit mode. It doesn't just mean being like keeping yourself closed off or reserved. This also means situations. There's situations that keep us protected from being killed, metaphorically. Keeps us from losing our spark. Keeps us from losing our core essence of self and being changed into something else. Okay, I'm sorry, I feel like I've said so many times so far. It's not always that I do this where I just like intuitively move through the energy. Usually I have something written down or I go with the cards, but I wanted to do it more intuitively based at this time, kind of channel something through. Also, I'm a little bit shaky because I haven't done a reading in like a week. But yeah, the situations can be protecting you from, how do I put that into language? There are situations that protect you from unbecoming. There are situations that happen that may seem in the moment as devastating or as they bring you some sort of destruction, right? Tower moments. It protects you, though, from greater mishap. It protects you from yourself. It protects you from losing the self as well. It can protect you in many different ways. So you've broken out of this shell. You've outgrown situations, people, behaviors, complexes, mindsets, archetypes, lifestyles, jobs, career paths for some of you, etc., etc. You've outgrown these things and have spread your wings into what feels fully authentic to you. Or you are spreading your wings, or you're getting used to your wings. At some phase, you have earned your wings, quote unquote. Okay. And you're in some phase of that, either they're just breaking out, you're getting used to them, they're drying, you're sitting on the branch and they're drying, or you have taken flight, whichever phase you are in. But it has come after some sort of big release from the situations and the behaviors, complexes, as I had listed, that protected us, that once gave us shelter from the future that we were not quite ready for. That feels right. Okay. Even when we think that we're ready, doesn't mean that we're ready. Right? So there's situations that could have taken place that seemed destructive. But it was because you were not yet ready to experience what you were meant to experience, because you were not yet aligned with what was truly meant for you. And the destructive situations, the destruction, whether self-destructive or externally destructive, or both, it was meant to bring you into alignment, into balance. You needed those lessons in order to realize the self and come into radical self-acceptance and self-knowing and trusting the self deeply. Because when you're in the cocoon, you can't see outside of it, right? There has to be great, deep delving in introspection within not just the self, but the soul, the seat of the soul, okay? The seat of the soul. It brings me to the seat of emotion. Heart chakra and sacral chakra healing. Okay. And you have to move through these experiences, this deep introspection and this healing of the heart and the sacral in order to claim the self-sovereignty of the self, the self-authority. Okay, and I feel as though the release that has taken place is the heart chakra having completed its healing, or having completed its alignment to a destined path, or to the authentic experiences that you are meant to attract into your life and be receptive to in order to build upon the foundation of your self-sovereignty. Okay? Ooh, that was really interesting. Okay? We have the Nine of Wands. All right? So there was a lot of persistence that you have had to have throughout your life. There was a lot of, you had to be determined to reach a certain state. And it is with this Page of Wands, okay? You had to be determined to reach a new adventure. You had to hold on. You had to, what felt like fight, okay? Maybe literally, maybe mentally or emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, whatever it might have been. You had to defend yourself when it came to external forces, when it came to internal forces, when it came to your inner child. Okay, there was a level of having to be very, very unshakable in your convictions, in your belief that there was a difference out there, that there was a hope out there, that there was something for you to look forward towards. Okay? And you had to have courage in order to take some sort of leap of faith. All right? There is some sort of new beginning. There is some sort of new journey that is taking place, some sort of new adventure. I'm hearing adventure. Adventure. This is something that is uncharted. This is something that is unexplored. This is something that there's things that you don't have knowledge of here, that you don't have experience with. Okay, in whatever new adventure you're taking on, you are going to be a novice in this area. All right, and you had to use your own wisdom to reach the space of being a novice. Okay, it's kind of like the cycle of maiden, mother, crone. All right, we cycle back around because I don't believe that it's just 1, 2, 3. I believe it comes back around as life is a spiral, and we reach new levels of the maiden, mother, crone within ourselves. And I think that's what's taking place here for you, collective. Whoever is resonating with this video is that you have had this renewed, love of life. You have this renewed sense of passion, of creation, of motivation and ambition. And it's that you have your eyes set, you have your sights set on something very new for you. You are seeing life in a different sort of way, or you have new goalposts. There's new ideas that are flowing into you. Oh, both of these cards say courage on them. You have had to have a lot of courage to take flight. It takes a lot of courage. Okay, as a human, but using the butterfly metaphor or the moth metaphor, they come out of the cocoon and then they dry their wings, but they've never used those wings before. How do you fly when you've never flown before? How do you know that when you take flight that you're not just gonna fall on your fucking face, right? So that was maybe a fear, a hump. I just heard a hump in the road, a fear that you had to overcome. Okay, was this fear of falling flat on the face, or maybe not being enough for something. Okay, but you had the gumption I just heard. Gumption, is that like That's like having the guts, right? Gumption. I'm pretty sure that's like strength. That's like courage. You had to have the balls to step forward into your authenticity, to free yourself from the shackles of your past, to free yourself from the shackles of old situations, internally and externally. You had to self-atone. You had to atone and self-atone for what has taken place in your past. Even if there was, in some situations for you, and this isn't going to resonate for everybody, but for some of you, where there was lack of closure or where there was no completion to certain cycles, it's like you had to find your success within the old cycles, within the old pathways, in order to take on a new pathway. Success is always just a perspective. And if you stay in this defensive period where you feel like you always have to protect yourself, you always have to fight, you can't trust what's coming in towards you, whether that be people, experiences, lessons, whatever. When you feel as though you have to fight against the current, fight against the flow, fight against yourself, then you are not able to feel successful. You're always going to feel as though you're grasping for something that's just out of reach. Okay? We'll get a little bit more in the tarot. But you have moved out of a cycle. You have moved out of a cycle where there was conflict, where there was unanswered questions, where there was conflict, where there was illusion, where there was, oh, this card is turned around. That's really weird. This is the only card. It was like, it was facing this way. That's really odd. There was something to do with here, the Three of Pentacles, something to do with external focuses or external forces, whether that be external just energies or people, or what else could that be? Influences of some sort, conditions, systems. Okay, something that was fighting against your own path. But there was also something to do here with not working with the own subconscious, fighting against the own subconscious, not wanting the old self to end, essentially, to die. I had a dream recently where an old client of mine was at the end of their life, and they were terrified of death. And all I could do was sit with them and hold their hand and reassure them that it wouldn't be the end. That it wouldn't be the end. In the dream, I reassured them that it wouldn't be the end, and I just had to sit and listen to them mourn and grieve their life as it was. And I knew that that was a metaphor for my own self, grieving the life that was, the life of me that was. And in the dream, I had not been myself scared of death. And in my dream journal, so this is right after I wake up, I type it into my phone, my dream journal, and I had typed in there, death is inevitable. Okay, so there was this dream was like an acceptance. It was like an acceptance of the fear of death, but an acceptance at the same time that death is inevitable, that entwined ending and beginning. And here with the death card, I want to get different deck so that you can see it better. Hang on 1 second. In the death card here, we have the sunset or sunrise. It could be seen either way, and that's where I find the ending and the beginning. And death is always about sacrifice, which I have learned from this Pope here, giving himself to the night of death. Okay, you had to sacrifice a part of the self. I also see that here, which is, it's kind of like a darker symbol, but it's like the mother is looking away as she gives her child to, it's like a sacrifice. And to me, this is the sacrifice of the inner child. And she has to look away as the child, as part of the self that has to die and fall away. And This is a sacrifice that is necessary in order to reach a certain level of a certain moment, right? A certain moment of enlightenment that allows you to embrace the inevitability of death, the inevitability of endings, okay, and what that may bring in. It's something that's unknown. It's something that's unseen. There is something here with the Five of Swords, the Three of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Moon card of things done in the dark, things done behind one's back, things done, things kept out of one's reach or out of one's vision. Okay, deception of some sort. Okay, through it's like unseen conflict or unnamed conflict. Okay, and of course everything is balance. It's polarity. It's duality. So this happened internally and externally, where there was conflict within the self, a lack of working with the self, a preoccupation with distraction. And with the illusion of the self, the illusion of subconscious programming, and outside, there had to have been as well something of the same sort going on in the external world. Okay? That's really interesting. Okay, there was a level, what you had to endure through. We have Ace of Pentacles here now. But what you had to endure here, what you had to persevere through, what you had to have the determination, the courage to free yourself from, to rediscover yourself throughout, was this process of illusion, of subconscious limits, programmings. You had to work through these things, and you had to work through the unknown, the unresolved. You had to atone for yourself externally, and you had to atone for yourself internally. Okay, and there may have been a level of having to atone for the other internally in order to free yourself from some sort of conflictual pattern in the subconscious and in the external. Okay, oh wow, this is really deep. You had to release yourself from the shackles of, is it the human ego? Is it the entangled mind? Is it... Sorry, there's a lot of deep energy here. I'm trying to find the words. It's something of that sort. Okay, it's like moving through the veil, moving through the mystery, moving through the veil, moving through the unseen into the beyond. There's something of that sort. I'm pretty sure that I had a video. I don't remember what it was called. It was something like "You are wearing the veil." I'm pretty sure in the picture there will be a veil in the thumbnail, if you're interested. No obligations, of course. Where it was speaking about how you are wearing the veil. You see from inside the shadows, and it is the place that you are able to understand life, the self, the other, the inside and the out, the conscious and the unconscious, the seen and the unseen. It's from the space of knowing the own shadow so deeply that you are able to know the shadow of the other, to accept the shadow of the self. You accept the shadow of the other. So everything is seen full circle because of this acceptance, this radical acceptance of the self and the other. There cannot be conflict. This space is void of conflict because it is seen. And when it is seen, it is understood. And when it is understood, it's not like the concept of the conflict is irrelevant. I'm sorry if this is hard to understand. I'm verbalizing what I can in the way that I can. But here we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have opportunity that has sprouted from this integration of one's own shadow. Integration of the understanding of the other, and the way in which human life and interaction, connections with others, is a process of reflection, projection, and relation. And it's an integration of this interweaved. Sorry, I keep looking out the window. Whenever I have the window open, I can't help but just watch outside. But it's the interweaving that has been integrated. The dualistic and polaristic, I'm going to make a word, polaristic nature of humanity and of mental mastery. And we have this opportunity. It's as though you have the power to create the own reality. We have the Queen of Cups as well. You're open to receiving opportunity. You're open to receiving that which you would like to manifest. You are in a flow with the creation of your own reality. And it can happen very much real time. You can witness your own influence on your external reality with that mental focus and discipline. Wow. Okay, anything else, Spirit? One second, fell on the floor. We got the Death card and the Nine of Cups, and I clarified the Death card, and we got the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Judgment card together. Okay, so it's it was a choice to expand into new opportunity, to create the reality. It's a decision to move the life forward in the way in which you would like to move it forward. It's a decision. Excuse me, one second. I'm a little bit sick. I went way too hard this weekend. Needed, but pushed a little further than I had. But yeah, it was a decision to claim the space and the power to initiate the change that you would like to see in your life through the influence of your own self-sovereignty and through your own judgment calls within the mind's eye. It's, how do I verbalize? I don't know how to put this into language for you. There's something about enjoying that which you have. There's something about fulfillment within the position at which you currently stand, at which you are currently residing within. There is trust in the self. There is trust in what the universe brings. There is trust in the death. There is trust in the end. And that doesn't mean that it's done without fear. It's the integration of the fear. It's the integration of one's own self-conflicts and the way that one fights against the flow. It's an integration. It's a cooperation with the higher self. It's a cooperation with the cyclical nature of life. There we go. Cooperation with the cyclical nature of life. But in that, choosing to create what you would like within that cyclical nature of life. And you can only do so with the acceptance and the flow with the cyclical nature of life. Not fighting against the currents. And that's the currents internally, externally, and intermittent between. Okay? Can we get any more messages, Spirit? I actually want to go into my Rider-Waite deck. Any other messages we can get that align with this, Spirit? Upright or reversed? Upright or reversed? Best 2 out of 3. Upright or reversed? Okay, we have the Four of Cups in the reverse, and we have the Four of Wands here, okay? So there was something that had to be overcome within the apathy of your own position. Not taking the reins. This is someone that sits back, that lets life kind of sway them, which is not a problem. It's not a problem to flow with life, but it is a choice. It is a choice whether to flow with life or to accept the flow of life and be proactive about the changes that take place. Okay, with the Four of Wands and the Moon card, there has been, again, an integration of the shadow side. You have come into a reconciliation within the depths of the subconscious. Okay, this is a rewiring. This is a rewiring because this is passivity and this is proactivity. There is a rewiring of the way in which the subconscious rules itself. In the way in which the subconscious processes itself, and in which it processes the other as well. This is the this is cooperation. No, not cooperation. This is the I'll say union, for lack of better word, the union of the self and the other through the acceptance of the radical acceptance of the shadow and the light within the subconscious and the conscious. Okay, can I get more information on this? There's something as well about breaking out of the box, about pushing the envelope, about moving out of traditional, like group mind, traditional teamwork, or traditional, there's some sort of traditional aspect that has been broken out of, that there was conflict, whether consciously or unconsciously, of the self and the other. Okay, against. There's something about coming into not only the self-acceptance, but the gratitude for the part of the self that brings the conflict, the ego, the programmed mind. The Nine of Pentacles. Here, you'll come out again if you'd like to. Can I get more information on this Four of Wands, please? Wow. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands here. All right. So this is celebration. This is renewal, rejuvenation of the security, of the stability within the self, of one's own intuitive abilities, of one's own passionate drive, of one's own ambitions, motivations, of one's own standing in the collective, it feels like, with that Ten of Pentacles. Okay, it's claiming the position in one's collective stance. Okay, there's something here about, I've never noticed that before. There's something here with the Queen, and her legs are like spread apart under her dress. It's a self-assurance. It's a confidence. It's a vulnerability, an open vulnerability. The vulnerability being open. There's a strength within vulnerability. There's a strength within trusting in the self. This black cat. There's this feeling of being led by the feminine aspect of the self, a balance between the masculine and the feminine, a receptivity. Building upon the foundation here with the Four of Wands, celebrating the foundation of one's own self-made security or identity, collective identity, your own magnetism. Embracing of the magnetism, an understanding of one's own energetic influence, and using that in a way that benefits the collective, the whole, not just the self. Okay, and now I want to move into my deck, see if, would you like to work with me today? Okay. Okay, the deck is willing to work with us today. My deck doesn't want to work with every reading. Like, my deck doesn't resonate with every reading or isn't fit for. Like there's other decks that are more fit for. It's very interesting, my deck. And I really love it. What messages do you have? Lore. Lore is all about the background of something. It's all about the background of the self or the other. It's all about the programmed and the conditioned things in which create a story and which create a narrative. There's something about that here. I don't know if we'll go for... We will go further into it. It came out again. 1 second. Ooh, this is powerful energy. We have the Lore card again. Okay. We have integrity, the Hierophant, and push the envelope. Okay, this is deviating from traditions, which I tapped on slightly earlier. This is deviating from conditioned traditions. This is deviating from set. I want to use a better word than set. No, that's not the word. Why can't I think of a synonym for set? Conditioned, grounded, whatever. We'll just use set for lack of a better word. The traditions that are set. This is being non-conformal. This is extending past the limits of that which is believed to be possible or that which is believed to be of the capacity. Okay, it's reaching out of the comfort zone, pushing the envelope. Okay, this is provoking one's own patterns, provoking the patterns of the tradition, of the system. This is... and this is through, it's deliberately challenging what is established in order to create critical examination or to create transformation, reformation, to create examination of the ideas in which a system holds itself or a tradition holds itself or a family structure, a form. And that can come through with the death as well. It's something about structure, something about form. It's the way in which things are, right? It's the, which can be rebirthed, transformed. It's the way in which things are, but that can be transformed. But it takes pushing the envelope, okay? And it's something that you set to your own values, morals, your own principles in order to create, it's like your own belief system, your own path, your own lesson. There is something about becoming a teacher through your own integration of lore and working with, in tandem with, integrity, the truth of the self. It's being practical and realistic about something that is otherwise very spiritual, very ethereal, very mysterious. Okay? You had to be very diligent, disciplined, determined. Okay, this is integrity. It's like a Knight of Pentacles kind of energy to me. You had to be very diligent within this, very honest to your own convictions of vision, of belief. That again, as I had said in the very beginning, of that there was something greater out there, that there was faith, that there was hope, that there was difference out there. Difference. Pushing the envelope. Unorthodox. This is somebody who, whoever you are somebody that is of philosophy, a philosopher. Somebody that can explore concepts, situations, mannerisms, patterns, processes that others find taboo, again, unorthodox, incomprehensible. Okay, it's expanding past what the average mind may feel is limited. Okay, and the self as well. It's pushing past expanding past what the own mind thinks is its limits. Okay, it's very much stretching beyond what is conceivable and what is comprehensible until a comprehension is achieved in the creation of one's own reality and belief system. Oh, there's a bee. There's a honeybee. There's a tall flowers outside of my window. And there's a bee. And it's like you've created, and with the honeybee, it's of community, it's of love, it is of hard work. Okay, you had to work very hard, very diligently to extract, exudate, to produce this, to extract the nectar, the juice, the why am I forgetting the word? Pollen. The pollen of your own spiritual lesson, of your own spiritual position, of your own spiritual information, education, criteria. No, that's not it either. It's as though you're creating your own book. And maybe for some of you, you are. Maybe you're writing your own book. That came through. So you could create your own. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? It's so hard to put it into language. Your own education, not criteria. It's not like meeting standards. It's like the chapters within the book. It's the shit, I wish I had the word. Okay, but in this you are new to, okay? Your wings are drying. You're flapping them to dry them. And there's something about working with the shadow, working with we have the moon card came out in both decks here. Working with the shadow. It's in tandem. It's inner harmony, it's inner balance, it's inner security and stability. And now the influence is palpable. Okay, this is it exudes, that exudate from the internal to the external. The influence is palpable. The work is palpable. Okay, and it's because you stuck to your guns. You had the gumption to work to liberate yourself from the patterning and the tradition and the conditioning. Okay, now you have stepped into a new rule. You have pushed outside of your own comfort zone, outside of your own limits, and outside of the limits of that which was placed upon you in your own programming, to step into a new adventure, a new rule, a new way of perceiving, a new way of processing. So therefore, new ideas can emerge. And there's something here about using the past with the future to create the present. Okay, it's making something make sense through the usage of what once was, of the part of you that once was, right? Of what had to be sacrificed. And now I see she's looking away, but I'm not taking it as looking away necessarily. I'm taking it as the release. It's painful. It's fucking painful. That's not something that's easy to do. It's bracing and bearing and moving through regardless. And this has brought you into a state of self-sovereignty because you have excised, and the card was on the back, you have excised that which did not align with the greater self, that did not align with the highest potential. Okay, you've come into communion with your own knowledge, your own mission, your own role that you have co-created with the universe and with your higher self. Okay, that you have worked hard to develop. And there's something about community, there's something about collective, there's something about the way that you influence. Either you are creating your own community, or you are influencing your community, or you are influencing the collective, whether on an energetic or a physical level. But this is something that it's palpable, okay? Even if it's not to the touch, it's something that is felt. Not to the touch, you can put your hands on it, but it's felt in the senses, okay? Whether that be smelt, whether it's smelt, it's heard, it's seen, it's, the nervous system picks up on it, okay? The body hair raises, whatever it is, it's felt, okay? Beautiful day and authentic. It's a beautiful day. You too. Beautiful Day by U2. Okay, it's that's a illumination, right? And we have the authenticity, illumination, authenticity. You face the shadow with bravery. You face the self with bravery. You express the self with illumination. Sorry, my hair's flat. I don't know why I feel the need to apologize for my hair. It's flat, it's getting long, and it needs a trim, and therefore it's flat because it's heavy, it's being weighed down. It's time to cut your hair. Oh, it's time to cut your hair. It's time to step off the branch. It's time to fly. It's time to spread the wings and face it. You were born to fly. You were born to take flight. It's literally in your life cycle, right? We have abundance and home. That Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. It's harmony within the self. It's the acceptance of one's own abundance and the ability to create, to manifest, to exude abundance. Okay, and I'm not speaking materially, though you can definitely, add that to the cup, right? This is of energetic abundance, energetic exudate, okay, release of production. It is, and that's where that's where your energy is palpable, where your aura, where your influence is palpable, where it is felt, whether you are there or not. This is collective. This is on the scalaric field, I'll even say, where it's felt no matter the distance. Because of the work that you have done, because of the harmony within the self, because of the abundance that you exude. You produce the abundance through the release, the sharing of the abundance, and the release of that which was, the self that was, accepting the death of that which was. Okay, you have come home to yourself. Abundant, authentic home. You have come home to an identity that is aligned with your abundant future. You have come home to an identity through the act of unconditional self-care, of radical self-acceptance, of a deep, deep self-love, self-knowing. Okay, it's understanding the depths and embracing the connection to your higher self and your most high. It is coming into union with the higher self. Working and can only be done through the cooperation with the shadow, the integration of that which was once denied, exiled by the self and by others, okay? You are exuding confidence. You are exuding your own internal security and stability. And yes, there is going to be conflict because of this. Yes, there is going to be those that want to fight against you, work against you, confuse you, deceive you, elude you. But the thing is when you are in this position, when you understand the ins and outs of the self and the other, you cannot be eluded. You cannot be deceived because it is seen and it is heard. It is understood. When you see, hear, and understand the self, others see, hear, and understand you, and you see, hear, and understand others. Okay, so it's people eluding themselves. There will be these people eluding themselves, fighting themselves against your own influence because of their lack of cooperation with themselves. Therefore, they cannot cooperate with you, or they will want to act against you behind you. Okay, and that's not personal. It's not personal. It's one's own. It's the other's own lack of capacity for the understanding of the depth in which you exude, the abundance in which you exude, the understanding, the self-knowing, the self-trust in which you exude from yourself outwardly, that is felt. And they do this unconsciously, okay? It's an internal, unconscious, subconscious conflict within themselves because of that tradition, the system traditions, the programming from the external, okay? And they will have to move through their own processes if they decide to take on that path, okay? And you are coming into a position here where you can teach others how to move through this if they are so willing to choose that. You have to choose it. You can hear the calling, but you have to choose this path in order to come into this work. And then to work through all of that in order to come into this position. It takes time. And a lot of people don't like that concept. Time is part of this 3D realm. We are timeless beings inside of a time-ful realm. Okay, and there's nothing that we can do about that. We can fight against it, but that does not elevate you from this time-ful relation. It's going to keep you stuck in this loop of fighting that which is in the own subconscious, projecting it to others and reflecting it within the other. And that is a process in which you choose to dismantle by yourself through time, through dedication. Personally, I took on my spiritual journey it was the very first couple weeks of 2019. So it's been 6.5 years that I've been on this journey of unraveling the self and coming into a position. And here I find myself, oh, where's the novice card? Here, I'll just use the Page of Wands. Here I find myself as a novice in a new adventure, in a new journey with a new perception. And this is the collective here. This is what you are doing as well. Because you have done this work to get yourself to this position. You have accepted the nature of the cycles of life, of death, of the sacrifice of endings and beginnings. And you have brought them together. And